Climate change, insecticides, and disease are hurting population numbers of many different pollinators in Manitoba. Pollinators are essential in our ecosystem, and there are things we can do in our cities, towns, and even backyards to protect and even help bees and other pollinators. Joining us now to tell us how we can help is the director of Beez Please, Rene Hince. Good morning, Rene.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. Now, tell us about your organization, Beez Please. What do you do there?
So we specialize in pollinator-friendly yards, so finding ways to do landscaping in ways that are not harmful to pollinator populations. There's ways to do that without using agrochemicals and in ways that protect the habitats of our tiny relations that are currently imperiled due to climate change, agrochemicals, and habitat loss. Some of which we can't always, solve as a single person, but the habitat loss piece we can try to tackle by replacing either invasive or less helpful plants with native and pollinator-friendly plants.
So why was this important to you? Why did you start all of this?
We started this because it arose out of a need that was kind of unmet in the community, because there was currently no landscapers with a focus specifically on pollinator-friendly yards. Someone I knew wanted to put in a clover lawn, and we couldn't find anyone to do it for them, so we as such kind of realized there was a real a gap in the market and in the services being offered for people that maybe want to go in a different direction.
There are plants out there that could be harmful, right, to pollinators and bees?
Correct. So the three main categories we kind of deal with are native plants, the ones that have been here for thousands of years. Then there's plants that are not from here, some of which are naturalized into the environment and keep replicating, not all of which are harmful, but the ones that kind of take over and continue to take too much area up and are harmful to, some of them even change the soil composition so that other native plants can't grow. Those would be invasive plants, and those are the ones we really have to try to tackle and remove.
What would be an example of an invasive plant that you don't want?
Probably the one that people would recognize the easiest would be creeping bell. It's in all the gardening groups, people really have a hard time getting rid of that one. It is very prolific, but we've found ways to use native plants that are appropriate to actually hold it back and or replace it. So it's sort of kind of using what's been here for thousands of years in a correct manner to solve problems without having to use sprays and things like that.
Okay, so some people might be, landscaping their yard, and they think the creeping bell, for example, is beautiful, and they think it's a good thing, but they might not realize that it could be harmful, right?
So the idea is that while you might see some pollinators in these plants, they're not necessarily getting the maximum nutrition out of them.
Okay.
And so if those spaces if huge spaces are taken over by invasive plants, then they can't find those biologically appropriate sources of food and shelter that they can recognize. So that's the importance of trying to remove those invasives and replace them with plants that these local pollinators have evolved alongside and can recognize.
So we're almost out of time already, but give me an example of a plant you do want in your backyard.
Purple coneflower, echinacea seems to be a really, really popular one. Blazing star is really good. And milkweeds are also very important for our monarch butterfly populations. Yeah, those would be some
really great advice. So if somebody needs some help, they could just contact you directly and you can guide them in the right direction.
Absolutely. And we also offer 3D renderings and long-term planning if people are looking to kind of do this over several phases and get their space to where they want it to be.
That sounds great. And the pollinators will love you for it as well. Thank you so much for this today.
Thank you.